Welcome to the Kindness Project, the podcast designed to share stories of kindness and share how kindness can make positive change in our world, one small act at a time.
This week on the Kindness Project, we talk about QI, the 248 Cranham, and the second part of the interview from the creators of Be My Eyes. Welcome to the Kindness Project. I'm joined by the man, the only man, who can find humour in the pages of a trivia book.
Why? Why? What humour in the pages of a trivia book?
Your trivia book, your QI book.
Oh, right, okay.
And you keep saying really funny things from the book.
No, it's meant to be funny. It's meant to be humorous. On the back, the blurb says you can, by using this book, you can laugh yourself a little more clever. So it's meant to be amusing. It's not meant to be. It's trivia with a comedic edge, like QI is, like the show is.
It's a funny show.
It is a funny show. It's a good show. And I'm joined by the girl who I genuinely think is actually glued to her mobile phone. It's Charlotte Dames.
Not true.
Not true. Can you give up? If I said to you, give up your phone for a month, could you do it?
No.
If I said to you,
no. If I had my laptop, yes.
If I said to you, give up your phone and laptop for a month, could you do it?
No, because I'd have nowhere to communicate with people, and I'm a social butterfly.
Right. Because you're a social butterfly, you need the. Well, I've got another idea. I don't know, you might want to try it. How about actually meeting people in person and having a conversation?
How can I have a conversation with people who I can't get in touch with to meet up with them?
But we did it before phones and computers, didn't we?
How?
We used to go to school and
I've
work.
got friends outside of school that I'd like to talk to.
Okay, well, you can phone them on their landline.
No one has a landline anymore.
Okay, you can send smoke signals. You can send them a letter. You can do.
Yeah, I'll do it in Morse code. Tap, tap,
do it
tap.
in Morse code. You can do it. There's a million ways to communicate with somebody.
I actually had a friend who tried to teach me Morse code. And we had a conversation, and I just said hello, and he said bye.
Yeah. Okay. Fair enough. that was the shortest conversation ever. Is that what you mean by being social? Hello. Bye.
Oh no, it was busy.
All right. Okay. But when I was a kid, when I was your age, actually a bit younger than you, I used to do this novel thing of knocking on somebody's door and saying, "Hi, would you like to play out?"
No, I still haven't done.
What?
Got a bus to Cranham.
Oh yeah. Tell us about your obsession with Cranham.
So every time I go to Romford, I see this bus that goes to Cranham, and every time I make a joke and I go, "Oh, I'm going to get on this bus and I'm going to go all the way to Cranham."
There is nothing in Cranham, by the way.
Nothing in Cranham.
It's like a
I'm
little
going
suburban
anyway.
place.
One day I'm going to free up one weekend. I'm just going to go to Cranham.
Right. And what are you going to do in Cranham?
Who knows?
I don't know what's in Cranham.
Get a connection bus.
All right. So you're going to go to Cranham to go to somewhere else. And you're going to look on the front of the bus and go, the world is my lobster, the world is my oyster. I'm going to go to Cranham to go to Upminster or go to...
I can get to Upminster on a train. Single train.
Fair enough. But you can't get to Cranham on a train. And that's where the mystery of Cranham lies, right? So you're going to go to Cranham. And can you, when you actually end up going to Cranham, can you just let us know what's in Cranham? Can you give us an update on the podcast?
I'll take some selfies, yeah. Because this is like an ongoing thing that I've been saying it for weeks. I want to get on a bus and go to Cranham. I'm going to do it one of these weekends. One of these weekends.
So when you do, when you end up going to Cranham,
yes,
you need to come back on the podcast and tell everybody about your experience in Cranham.
It's going to be amazing.
I've got a feeling you're going to come and go, there was nothing there.
I met some nice old lady in a pub.
So you're going to go to Cranham at 14 and go to the pub. Is that what you're going to do?
The local cafe will do.
Oh, right, okay. You're going to go to the cafe. Right,
yeah.
Okay, fair enough. Can you apart from your journey to... any other travel aspirations you've got?
Nah.
No, just to Cranham.
Just to Cranham.
The world is big, but I want to go to Cranham.
Everywhere has a Cranham. Everywhere has a Cranham.
That's fair enough, darling. Right, tell everybody where they can get in touch with us. Can I just check? Is the H back, or are we going to have to wait and see?
Nobody knows.
Tell me then.
Twitter @.
That was half a H. At hot or la.
At Hola Kindness. The Facebook is
facebook.com/holokindness.
And the email is at holla@thekindnessproject.co.uk. My personal Twitter at Charlotte J Dames.
My Twitter.
I need to do my spelling for my Twitter first. Thank you very much.
Sorry. At Cranham Lover.
At Cranham Lover 2003.
That's the last time. That's the last time anybody went, I'm gonna go to Cranham.
CHARLOTTEJDAEMS. And yours is
At Chris Dames. So it's Chris as the conventional spelling of Chris, CHRIS, and then Dames. What?
CHRIST.
No, my name isn't Christ Dames. I know we have got a light-hearted feel to the podcast. I'm not going to call myself after the Son of God. All right, it's just unfair. My name is Jesus Dames. No, my name is Chris Dames. CHRISDAEMS. And feel free to get in touch about this week's question of the podcast, which is
question of the podcast. Woo!
You keep on changing the jingle.
Same jingle as last time, mate.
I'm not convinced it is. Question of the podcast: have you been to Cranham? No, it's not. Obviously, it's not, because nobody's been to Cranham unless you live in Cranham. The question of the podcast is: what's your favourite app? What's your favourite app, Charlotte?
Pinterest, Wattpad, Instagram, Twitter, Tumblr.
Make your mind up. I said favourite app, not favourite portfolio of apps. My favourite app at the minute is I Love Cranham. Cranham Lovers, and you click on it and you see where the Cranham Lovers are. They're mostly in Cranham, to be honest.
Yeah, they're mostly people who grew up in Cranham, spent their whole lives in Cranham, and now sit in the cafe in Cranham.
See, we're talking about Cranham like we know Cranham. I don't know what goes on in Cranham. Anyway, what is your favourite app? Please do let us know, and let's move on to Kindness News.
Yep.
Now, we've got another Kindness News.
Yes.
And this Kindness News... Oh, do you want to do your jingle?
Yes.
Dish, Kindness News. No?
That sounded like you were going to sing EastEnders there, and I was like,
Kindness News. Right, sorry, do the proper jingle.
Kindness News.
What edition?
The short edition.
Short edition, okay, bit. So,
short, sweet and kind.
Oh, right, okay. Kindness News, short, sweet and kind edition.
Yep.
So you've got a couple of, I'm assuming, short, sweet and kind news articles.
Yes.
Cool.
Okay, the first one, Kindness Mural is a reminder that Ridgefield is family.
Okay, so where's Ridgefield?
I don't know.
Okay.
I'm not on Google Maps these things.
Right, okay.
Ridgefield celebrated Kindness Day with the unveiling of town-created Kindness Mural, a project that spanned 1 year and brought locals together in the name of inclusion and love.
Okay.
At the centre of the project was Ridgefield Youth Commission, RYC, and their chairperson Denise Quayle. Joanne and Bruce Hunter, who own the Danbury's Art Spot, worked with dozens of Ridgefield community members to help create this colourful mosaic mural that hangs on the Governor Street Barn in the heart of Ridgefield. The Ridgefield Choral provided beautiful music and speakers, including several people. That I will not go through the whole list because
a lot of people were there. A lot of people
important to the town. Yeah. Reminded attendees that kindness can change lives. Today was a shining example of how one community is making the world a better place. Ridgefield is family, First Selectman Rudy Marconi remarked. We are blessed to be part of
Can I just share with everybody that this is the second time we've tried to record Kindness News this week, and the first time we included, what's Mr. Marconi's first name?
Rudy.
We called Rudy Marconi both Rudy Macaroni and Rudy Macarena. Yay, Macarena! Right, So Mr. Rudy Marconi, he's trying to do positive stuff, and we can't even get his name right, Charlotte.
I apologise.
So do I. Okay.
You didn't have to bring it up though.
So art as kindness, I love the idea of. Art is a really good opportunity to make the world a brighter place if done right. And certainly, I like the idea of art as kindness. That was a really good story. What's the next one?
Yes, okay. Camden students rock out love and
Camden, we love a bit of Camden.
We love a bit of Camden, we do.
We love a bit of Camden.
Okay, Camden elementary school students are spreading love and kindness in a special way this year. Kindness means doing something and not expecting someone to give it back to you, Bella said. To these students, kindness has many meanings. Kindness means to me is that it is someone being nice to you, and it shows that somebody cares about you, Brooklyn said. An art project allowed students ranging from pre-K to 4th grade to paint an inspirational message on rocks. Outside the building, you will find rocks in the colourful Camden character corner. They're going to have the... can't speak today. Calling it macaroni. Honestly, they're going to have that basis of respect, of compassion, and we are going to have fewer issues of bullying with school violence. That by teaching them to be kind right as they start. That's going to carry with them through the rest of their lives, said school counsellor Kerry Mirabelli. Principal Sharon Kirk said these rocks are part of the initiative Cougars for Character, which started last year. It helps students learn good character traits, and every month a ceremony is held to honour those who demonstrate that behaviour. She said the rock corner helps to focus on positive ideas instead of the negative.
Now, I've heard this
with
story
personalised
before.
messages.
I've heard this story of rocks being painted with stories of kindness, and them just being left in places for people to pick up. So that you might be having a really rubbish day, you might be walking along the beach, you pick up a rock, suddenly you're awesome, you feel a bit better about your day.
You're amazing, mate.
You're amazing. Well, I love that idea, and I love the idea of kindness rocks as well. So thanks for sharing those two really short stories. So this week, Charlotte, we've got the second part of our interview with Hans from Be My Eyes.
Yes.
I loved chatting with him. Such an awesome guy. And the app, Be My Eyes, please, if you haven't downloaded the app already, check your Play Store of choice, App Store of choice, and download it, because genuinely what it does to help blind and partially sighted people is incredible. I was going to say incredulous, but that means something else.
So not even sure what that does mean.
It's incredible. Would you like to hear the rest of the interview?
Yes, please.
And we've been exploring something on the Kindness Project recently. Just philosophically, do you think most people are generally good?
Yeah, I do. Absolutely. And you see, when we have just passed 900,000 people who has heard about Be My Eyes,
yeah,
and actively gone into their phone and into the App Store and found it and signed in,
yeah,
and are waiting to get a call. So and without we haven't spent anything on marketing.
Yeah.
So it's solely on word to word and Facebook and Twitter, and of course all the press that we have had.
Yeah.
And so on. So I'm super convinced that
most people are generally good.
Are good people, and I really also think that this. Maybe one of the reasons that we are getting so many volunteers is because this is something, even you are a very busy person and you want to volunteer, it can be really difficult for someone to sign up to go every Wednesday night and do something. But this you can do.
Allows flexibility. Yeah. Well,
we still need people to sign up to go to the secondhand store and do all that kind of work and so on. So I think there's a lot of people who does not have the time to do that, but still want to show their commitment to the society.
I think you're right. I mean, I think that sort of, and I like your I like two phrases you used. Number one, super convinced, because I thought you could be convinced or not, as opposed to just super convinced. But I'm Hans. I might start using that. I might have to steal the phrase from you, super convinced, and start using it because I love it. The concept of micro volunteering I love, because as you say, if you've got a busy life, if you've got sort of business, job, family, you want some time to relax, you're studying, you're doing a number of different things, how do you fit this element of philanthropy in a really micro way in your life? So do you see, have you got any other examples of how micro volunteering's happening in the world, and do you think there's going to be more micro volunteering happening empowered by technology?
Well, I think maybe just a lack of imagination, but I think that the technology is what makes micro volunteering possible.
Yeah.
Because it does not make sense to go somewhere and do something for 2 minutes.
Yeah.
But if you can lie on your couch and do it for 2 minutes,
yeah,
it makes totally sense.
Yeah.
So I think it's really a technological thing.
Yeah.
This micro volunteering, and but also maybe that not really. That micro, but yesterday I was talking to someone about this. There's some reading services where you can kind of sign up, and then you can help a kid learn to read.
Love it.
And this can also be done, and I know there's some app that does this where you can kind of sign up, and then you can kind of be a reading friend for someone who needs a pair of ears and so on, and this is also basically only possible also to get the critical mass to make sure that there's every time you want there's someone available, and this can be done because of the internet that we have these days.
Yeah, great.
Completely amazing.
Yeah.
And also that someone in Europe can help a lady in Canada do her shopping.
Yeah. I know.
In 30 seconds, we can have a volunteer specifically for you.
Yeah.
I think
it's incredible. You know what, I don't know, I mean, we were talking about kids earlier, and I don't know about your girls, but certainly my girls, I'm 40, so I turned 40 in August, and certainly I'm of the generation pretty similar to you that has lived without a lot of technology, and is quite comfortable in this world. I like technology, but I'm still surprised about how awesome it is, right? I'm still like, I remember my first computer was a Commodore 64, right? And I used to go to the shop, go and buy a game on a tape, come home, wait 45 minutes for that game to load, and then if it was rubbish, it was off in 5 minutes. And I was, as I say, my girls were a little younger than yours, but I was trying to explain that to Charlotte and Sophie the other day, and the blank look that I got, Hans, just like, what are you talking about, Dad? What world are you living in? But yeah, I think our generation has a appreciation for technology, but also is quite comfortable using it. Do you feel that as well?
Absolutely. And I remember when I was young, I was working half a year in Australia and half a year in Minnesota.
Okay.
And I think I called back like 2 or 3 times during those 13 months I was away from home.
Right.
And this is unimaginable today, where we have.
You just.
My oldest daughter is in Iceland, and we are Skyping with her once a week or something like that.
Yeah.
And this is completely naturally, and
you just do it, don't you?
This is how you do it, and this is also what I I have so big expectations to on this behalf for Be My Eyes, because most blind people in this world, they live in India and in Africa and so on, and they are really getting into the online world these years. So I really think that we can also make a difference for people in those areas, and this is something that I'm looking very much into, and we are excited about.
Oh, that would.
That we are getting a lot of users on Android phone mainly, in India, and also in the Middle East, and not so much in Africa, but it's coming. So it's I'm super excited about that.
That potentially, if you look at the populations of those countries, that's a game changer again, isn't it? You know, the huge impact you can have in, you know, countries with billions of people. You know, it's just incredible. So that
can I say one more thing?
Of course.
When you have 900,000 volunteers, then you also have a lot of languages that you can provide help in. And 2 days ago, I counted, and now in 182 different languages, we have more than 50 volunteers. So this, I was really surprised by that.
That's amazing.
It is. Because now we can help basically anyone in the world in their own language. I think that's pretty amazing.
Well, the only challenge I've got with that, Hans, is I'm from the East End of London, and we've got a very peculiar accent. It's called Cockney, right? I don't know how much you know about London. So it'd be interesting to know how translatable certain accents are and easy to understand.
A subgroup of
how many Cockneys, or how many Liverpudlians, or how many? I like that idea. How just and this is a really geeky question, but I'm going to ask it anyway. How trackable are the statistics? I'd imagine you've got statistics on all this sort of stuff, right? Like number of calls going on, and
Well, we don't give away too.
No.
So, but of course we have within the system. I cannot look at it. So some of the clever guys on my team are looking into the numbers once in a while, but
keeping track.
We don't give out.
No, I wouldn't expect you to. So you mentioned about Be My Eyes moving into sort of India and China potentially. I know one of the other things that I had a look at when I got your last email was collaborations you're doing, particularly with sort of Move It and stuff like that. So can you just explain to me, apart from the move into countries where the app would be particularly useful, what other innovations and collaborations you've got coming up with Be My Eyes?
We have just announced a new feature. Actually, this is really great news, or big news for us at least.
Excellent.
I don't know if it's great news, but for us it is big news. And that is that we instead of there's only one button, now there's two buttons.
Hans, that sounds way too complicated though.
And the second button is called Specialized Help.
Okay.
And we have announced a partnership with Microsoft. So if you have an issue with a Microsoft product, that could be your Windows program or some other. Microsoft makes a whole lot of different products. So if you have an issue with that, you can call directly to the Microsoft help desk. And the smart thing is that they also get the video, so you can show them what is the
issue. Yeah.
Because if you call a help desk, they will most likely ask you, but what what's on the screen now, and can you tell me how many green lights are flashing?
Yeah, and you won't.
If you are a blind person, you cannot tell them that.
Yeah, gotcha.
And because people are used to using Be My Eyes, then they are completely familiar with that.
Yep.
And Be My Eyes is a free app, and then Microsoft and hopefully a whole bunch of other companies are signing up, and they are paying Be My Eyes a small monthly fee to for us to provide this service for their customers. So we always try to keep it free for the blind people to use.
Yeah.
And then, the companies will hopefully, pay the monthly fee to us.
So it's specialised support. So you phone somebody who knows exactly what the challenge might be, as opposed to a volunteer who might not.
Exactly.
Gotcha.
Because, the volunteers are just someone's eyes.
Yeah.
Most blind people, they know exactly what they are doing, so they just need a pair of eyes to be sure that this is going on. But sometimes you need a really expert to help you.
So it's Be My Expert sort of service. Love it. Really, really love it. And what would be some other useful experts to have on that service, do you think?
Well, we are talking to some tel companies, and also maybe your bank. But you don't want to call a volunteer and show them your
gotcha.
Your bank account, and sometimes they send you a weird letter that you need to know what's going on.
Yeah.
And then you can have someone at the bank who is trustworthy of this information and so on, and they can explain what they are doing with you.
I absolutely love that idea. I mean, that's I mean, just having somebody there again. As you say, with volunteers, most of them will be generally good, but there's always an element of that personal information, oversharing personal information. And I know you don't recommend that people share too much personal details on the app, right?
No. We say that you should never show your credit card.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Personal information, of course. Because it is random people.
True.
But most of them are good. There could be someone, and also if you are a volunteer, it can be kind of uncomfortable to be shown other people's private stuff.
Great.
So please, be in mind of that.
Fair enough. So that's awesome. Thank you for the insight on that. Just got a few extra questions that we ask every podcast guest, because what we do is we have a just a non-kindness related question of the podcast. So it's quick fire. Feel free to give us the first question that comes up, and expect some random questions. Hans, are you ready?
Yeah. I don't know.
No, you'll be.
Can I hang up now?
Well, look. Can I try a couple of questions and see how you get on? Okay. So, if you could be any character from one of your favourite books, who would you choose?
I have to get that question again.
If you could be any character from one of your favourite books or audio books, what would you choose? Who would you choose?
Oh, I would go for Hermione Granger. You
know what's really interesting? We sort of a lot of the answers we get from interviewees on this are Harry Potter related. So we've had 3 interviewees who have already said Hermione Granger. So you're not alone. You are certainly not alone.
She is just a marvelous figure, and also I forgot her name, the actor, but she's doing phenomenal. I really love her.
Emma Watson, isn't it?
Yeah.
Emma Watson. Yeah.
And also what she's doing now, when she's speaking in the UN and
Yep.
so on, I think she's really taking some responsibility, and that's really great. So.
Well, certainly she's using her profile and voice to do good stuff. That's always good. What's the best use of an egg? Is it an omelette? Is it a boiled egg? Or is it Cadbury's creamed egg?
It is an omelette.
Oh, Hans, are you an omelette fan as well? I love an omelette. This isn't one of the questions, but what do you have in your omelette?
I like it with a little bit of ham or bacon.
A little bit of bacon omelette. I love it. What country? I know you said you've been to Australia. What countries that you haven't been to are on your must-visit list?
That's a good question.
Okay.
I think it is Brazil.
Okay, yeah.
I have spoken to a number of people, and I think it's really it's a gigantic country, but
Yeah.
I think it will be fun to visit.
To go along. Yeah. What's the most inspiring movie ever?
My favorite, I don't watch that many movies, but I like the movie called Good Will Hunting.
Yes, yeah. And if you became supreme ruler of the world, what one rule would you put in place?
Be the change you want to see.
Okay, cool. Yeah. So you'd ensure everybody didn't just talk about it; they did it, right?
Yeah.
Okay. No, I like that. I don't know how you'd enforce that.
No.
But it's good all the same. No, I've got two more. Number one, what's your favourite piece of trivia? So, what's your favourite piece of trivial information that is of no use, but actually is quite a nice fact to have?
Sorry, I cannot.
No, don't worry, that's fine. And the last one is, what is the world's best biscuit?
What is what?
The world's best biscuit. So is it chocolate digestive? Is it shortbread? Is it?
It's you see, I don't know from the whole world.
Yeah.
But I know the ones that my mother-in-law makes are superior.
Well, you've got to say that because it's your mother-in-law, right? Because the interesting thing is, we asked this at my mother-in-law listens to the podcast, and she phoned me when we asked that question and said, "Chris, you know the answer. It's my biscuits." So I think it must be every mother-in-law's biscuit. What kind of biscuits does she make?
It's I don't know the name. I don't know if they really have a name, but
Okay.
It's just the way she makes them.
It's good, yeah.
Mm.
Excellent. And where can people find out more about Be My Eyes?
Well, it's pretty easy. We like if you will follow us on Twitter, of course, where we are just Be My Eyes, and on Facebook as well.
Yep.
And we also have a YouTube channel where we post some small videos from time to time.
Yep.
And then, of course, you can go into our website.
Yep.
And
And then on the App Store, if people just search Be My Eyes, and you're available on Android and iPhone, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So that's fantastic. Thanks for spending the time with us today. I've really enjoyed our chat, and good luck with the exciting future things you're doing. It sounds really good.
Thank you, and thank you for having me on this show.
No worries. Thanks, Hans. So that was the end of our interview with Hans. Are we agreed that he's a bit of an awesome fella?
He's a bit of an awesome fella.
Cool.
'Tis the end.
The end of another podcast, but don't cry, because that is our last week's question of the week. This week, it was.
When was the last time you cried?
And guess what? We had a bumper post bag. Not literally a post bag because nobody sends letters anymore, do they? But we had a bumper set of tweets, a bumper set of Facebook messages, just bumper answers to the question, when was the last time you cried?
Nobody got hit by bumper cars, did they?
Nobody got hit by a bumper car. Because would a bumper car hurt you if it hit you? They go quite slowly, wouldn't they?
If it hit you right in the back and your face went flying forward and hit you in the steering wheel, I think it hurt.
Why did you go all cockney when you were talking about bumper cars?
I like bumper
I think it'd hurt, because it's a bumper car, isn't it?
I like bumper cars.
I like bumper cars. I love a bumper cars. My favourite fairground ride, and maybe in a future question of the podcast, we'll just ask our audience, our listeners, our friends of the show, what their favourite fairground ride is.
I like the waltzers.
I like Hearts and Diamonds. But there is one...
What's Hearts and Diamonds?
Oh, you've never been on a Hearts and Diamonds? Oh, so it starts spinning straight and then it starts going vertically. It spins all the way around. Yeah, I like them. I like them. But the waltzers, the best waltzers I've ever been to, and you know this because you've been on them with me, are the ones at Walton on Naze Pier. They are awesome waltzers.
We go on those every time.
Yeah, I love those.
I like those.
So, let me tell you what our audience said about when the last time they cried. And interestingly, I thought this question was going to be one of the ones where people go, I ain't tell you the last time I cried. But everybody got involved. Not everybody, obviously, the usual friends of the show. So let me tell you what some of the answers was. So Tamsin Kane, definite friend of the show, said DIY SOS made her cry. That is quite a sad show, isn't it?
I've never seen it.
Look, you know when they sort of turn up at somebody's house who's in need and say, we're going to do up your house and we're going to get the builders in.
It's usually called 60-minute makeover.
It's not called 60-minute makeover. DIY SOS is the BBC version where they don't try and do everything in an hour. Because frankly, it'd be a bit shoddy if they did it in an hour. Roberta White, Nan of You, and friend of the show, said, a gift that my youngest granddaughter, Sophie, gave me. John Cookie Boy Cook, the cookster, Cookman. Should we give him another cook-based... No?
The chef.
Just said, memories... in the corner of my mind. Alan Bowley said this post made him cry. And Nadeem, who is not a friend of the show yet because he hasn't commented that much, but certainly a friend of the business, Savello, and a friend of the family, we really like Nadeem, said, watching my daughter get her black belt, it's been a long, hard struggle and it would have been easy to let her drop out as she wanted to. There were times when she refused to get out of the car, but she was forced to attend. And to see her achieve such an accolade at 12 moved me to tears. Now she's a first dan black belt and loves it.
Nice.
So shows what perseverance and some grit and determination can do, right, Charlotte?
Yep.
No comment apart from yep?
No.
Okay. Alexander Riley, who is coming a regular contributor, not a friend of the show yet, but he's doing all right. He gave me my compliment last week, which was really nice. Alexander Riley said, meeting Neville Lawrence, Stephen Lawrence's dad last year. 25 years of watching. Do you know who that is? Mm-mm. So Stephen Lawrence was a young black fellow who got stabbed in London, and his dad and mum did loads of campaigning to stop knife crime, to give kids inspiration. They're really inspirational people. So Alexander Riley said, meeting Neville Lawrence, Stephen Lawrence's dad last year, 25 years of watching that case in the news, being a parent and imagining what he went through, being of colour and also a similar age to Stephen, all came to the fore at that moment. I just couldn't control it, and neither should you, Alex. I think if you're going to cry, why not do it at a time like that when you meet somebody so inspirational? Anthea Christie said...
Yesterday, listening to a talk about invisible disabilities and the impact on people's day-to-day lives.
And Fiona said...
A man called Ove fabulous. She called it a fabulous book.
Yeah, so I've never read A Man Called Over. Don't know whether it's a fabulous book or not, but it's been now added to my list. Thanks at Pensions Girly, Fiona, who's lovely. Richard Ellis said, attending the funeral of an ex-work colleague who passed away less than 18 months into retirement after 40 years service with the same company. Life is not a rehearsal. Carpe diem. Which I like. Seize the day, my friend. Seize the day. Phil Young said, Tuesday, tried out a new fangled pair of football boots. The ones like socks. Kicked the bottom out of somebody's foot and studs clearing the ball. Wept like a baby. You know the last time I cried, because obviously we record these after we record the question of the podcast.
Yeah.
I got a new pair of shoes. And they gave me the biggest blisters I've ever had in my life.
I saw that.
I know. They weren't good.
Right on the heels, but a couple of millimetres wide.
Should we not describe my blisters on the podcast? Maybe it's not very good.
Right, heeled skin.
No wonder we're still an amateur podcast. Number one, we watch YouTube videos for fun, and then we describe blisters. Not what the pros do, I don't think. They were good blisters.
The pros don't have as much fun as we do.
Yeah, fair enough. Damien Clyburn said, what makes him cry? Everything. Long lost family, golden buzzer on Britain's Got Talent, Twitter discussion on CFL. What's that? CFL.
I don't know. I read it as TFL the first time.
Twitter discussion on trains makes him cry. That's interesting. Damien, the trains are on strike. No, not the trains. Damien said, Twitter discussion on TFL. Anything really. It's really easy to make me cry. Damien, if you're listening, can you tell me what CFL is, and also if TFL makes you cry? Because certainly it makes me.
Because the train disturbances definitely make me angry.
Yeah, I know. You got stuck on that train that time, didn't you? On the way to Hamilton the Musical.
Half an hour at Blackfriars Station. I couldn't pull up with it.
Welcome to the world of London commuting. Sam Lynn sent a video on Facebook, made her cry, about a starving abandoned puppy, the man who rescued him, and how it transforms both their lives for the better. So that is a true story of kindness and something that made Sam cry.
Sorry, when it said the word lives, because the lights on the screen, it looked like liver. So it said how it transformed both their liver for the better.
Well, it might have transformed his liver because he might have stopped drinking as much, mightn't he? He might have done that. So TFL and liver are things that make people cry, apparently. Darren Cook, our old friend Darren, said at Red Circle FP you can find Darren, and you can find all of the Twitter handles of all of our friends of the show on the show notes. Said the last chapter of the Winnie the Pooh stories, and Andy Boyd possibly gave our favourite answer and went zip injury. Ouch! Do you know what that means? Fly. Anna Mashita, who I've probably pronounced that wrong, Anna, apologies, who is not a friend of the show but is a lovely, lovely lady. I've met her. She's awesome. Said, when Simba's dad died at the end of The Lion King.
At the end of The Lion King?
Oh, no, not at the end of The Lion King, in the middle of The Lion King.
Oh, that was a good joke.
Spoilers.
He really needs Mufasa.
Yeah, he does. And I want to talk about a couple of things, seeing as it's the end of the show. So, firstly, a friend of the show, Chris Laney, runs a business which is a community support organisation. She does loads of kind stuff in the community, and she actually got a big lottery grant for a project she's going to be doing, and that project is going to be recording the memories of older people in Barking in East London, so they can memorialise their lives for the future generations. So we're doing our bit about talking about kindness on the podcast. She's doing her bit by recording what older people remember about their lives, connecting them with people who need to hear that stuff. So that's quite good, right?
Connecting them with people who have yet to live their lives yet.
True.
Yeah. Probably connecting them with people who aren't even born.
Well, I like the idea. I really like the idea of having an audio journal of somebody's life that somebody can listen to years later and go, that was great. And actually, the Kindness Project podcast is a little bit it's a nonsensical version of an audio journal.
We'll look back on this and go, oh, I remember that story. I stopped telling that about 5 months ago.
Only 5 months ago. I think your time span's a bit short. So well done to Chris Laney. Awesome stuff. And carry on the great work you're doing. Second thing I want to mention is we might have some guest hosts coming up because Mikey Fitzgerald, friend of the show, did say to us that he'd be happy to come on and talk anime and manga because I know this is right up your street, isn't it? Because I didn't know anything about it, did I?
No.
So we need we need a guest anime and manga expert because we haven't got one in this pairing, have we?
No, I don't maybe.
But we need somebody to come on to talk to Charlotte, who is an anime and manga expert. Trust me, you've donated enough time to it to talk to her about it. So we formally invite Mikey Fitzgerald, if he'd grace us with his presence, to come on the Kindness Project. Mikey, we await your acceptance or denial. I don't know why you wouldn't want to come on, but it's up to you.
We'll have a laugh. It's fine.
Yeah, we'll have a good time. So that's all good news. And with all that being said,
it's the end.
It's definitely the end. We'll see you next time.
Bye.